Good day, everyone. I am Lydia, and I am delighted to welcome you to today's episode of EncoraTalks. Today, we are going to explore what it really means to be a product manager in the AI era, how AI is transforming discovery, decision making, and creativity, not by replacing us, but by amplifying what we can achieve. Let me start with a bit about myself first. I began my career in project management about 15 years ago, working shoulder to shoulder with designers, testers, and engineers, learning how products actually come to life. From there, I moved into client partnership, where I had to earn trust and really understand business needs. Later, I transitioned into product ownership and eventually product strategy, connecting users, business goals, and teams. Along the way, sometimes I've been a translator, sometimes negotiator, and sometimes visionary. And I love that because that range gave me one big advantage. I can speak the language of the client, the user, and the team and make it real. Like many of you, I had to adapt again and again as technology evolved. And now AI marks the most transformative shift yet. Today, we'll talk about product management in 2025, what's changed, what hasn't, and how AI is reshaping our work. But before diving in, let's look back at how product management began and why some misconceptions about the role still persist. At its core, product management is about creating value and intersection of customer needs, business goals, and technology. That hasn't changed, but the world around us has. In 2025, AI is now the multiplier for everything we do, helping us move in faster, see patterns earlier, and focus on higher value thinking. Our challenge isn't to compete with AI, but to partner with it. So, with that context in mind, here's what we will cover today. First, we will look at how the product management role is being reimagined with AI, what machines can really help us with, and where human judgment still makes the difference. Then, I will share a few real world examples of how product managers are already using AI tools today in discovery, research, and decision making. And finally, we will look at what skills and specializations product managers will need over the next 5 years and how governance and executive alignment play a key role in making AI adoption responsible and sustainable. My goal is that by the end of this session, you will see how AI can empower not only you as a product leader, but also your organization to move faster, think bolder, and create value in entirely new ways. So let's begin. I already touched briefly on what it means to be a product manager today, but I want to pause here. I'd like to take a moment to share where it all started and how myself or at Encora understand the role today. The concept of product management was born over 100 years ago. It started at Procter& Gamble, where the idea of a brand man represented the voice of the customer. And if you've watched Mad Men, you probably know exactly what I mean. Over time, that responsibility evolved, expanding to cover the entire product life cycle. Now, some people see product managers as mini CIOs, others as backlog owners, or even project coordinators. But the truth is simpler. Our job is to create clarity and value at the intersection of customer needs, business goals, and technology. And today, AI is transforming the environment where that happens. But while AI is changing the landscape, the fundamentals of our role remain exactly the same. The world we work in has changed fast, really, really fast. AI isn't just another tool. It's changing how quickly things move, how products are built, and what customers expect from us. And those new expectations don't just change how we work, they change how our customers think and decide. AI is transforming how we work as product managers, and just as importantly, how our customers behave. Customers nowadays are overwhelmed. Too many choices, too much information, too many identical claims. Customers themselves are also using AI every day. That changes their expectations. So, our job is no longer just to build features, it's to cut through the noise, deliver clarity, and meet these new expectations head on. AI isn't just an operational enabler, it is a strategic shift. The AI multiplier effect extends far beyond how we work. It's reshaping how customers think, behave, and choose. And that's why product management today looks very different, even from just a few years ago. To sum up, AI multiplies speed. Product managers, or actually humans and teams, are the ones multiplying the meaning. So, if AI is reshaping the role of product management, how does it actually help us in our day to day work? Let's make this real. I already mentioned that AI acts as a multiplier, speeding up research, drafting, analysis, or prototyping. It doesn't replace the work. What does then? It compresses the timeline. It gives us more time to think, decide, and create, instead of spending hours collecting, cleaning, and sorting data. Let me give you a couple of real examples. Just last month, we ran user evaluations with maybe 50 customers, a small one. Normally, synthesizing all those interviews will take us at least a full day, sometimes even two. This time, we use an AI tool to summarize and cluster pain points overnight. By the next morning, we had a first draft of insights. Then our team went in, checked those findings against the transcripts, and validated what really mattered. So AI didn't replace customer research. It accelerated our learning. It gave us faster signals so we could focus our energy where it truly counts. Let's go through another example. A few weeks ago, we wanted to test a new concept for a mobile application. We sketched a wireframe and used AI to generate a working prototype by the afternoon and had user feedback the next day. AI allow us lowering the cost of being grown so we can experiment more boldly. And that's why it's so important for product managers to start learning how to use it. Because today, prompt engineering is a new product requirement document. It's just like writing user stories. The clearer your input, the better your outcome. And as we go forward, finding the right balance between human intuition and AI recommendations is going to be key. Because here's the thing, AI doesn't deal in certainties, it deals in probabilities. Back in 2010, 2020, product management had a clear rhythm. We launch, observe, learn, and iterate. Data is now the starting point. The question isn't anymore, what happened? It is, what can this data enable? As product managers, we are the ones who have to interpret those gray areas, decide how much risk we are willing to take, and communicate those trade-offs to our stakeholders, team members. The final call still sits with us, and with that power comes responsibility. And that responsibility is really, really important because one of AI's biggest risks is bias. And bias isn't a bug, it's a product decision. We train the models. When models are trained on skewed data, that bias shows up directly in the user experience. Think of a voice assistant that understands some accents better than others, or that don't actually understand some of the accents. That's not just a technical bug, it's a failure of trust. Bias reminds me of something bigger, that every AI-driven product is built on human choices. And trust needs to be built from the start because otherwise it's already gone. And those choices are getting harder because the world around us is changing faster than ever. So let's start looking at some of the current challenges and new realities that are shaping the new phase of product management. As product managers, we are not just balancing intuition and algorithms. We are managing expectations in a world of AI hype. We are dealing with rising concerns about privacy, compliance. We are competing in markets where AI is no longer a differentiator. These are the current challenges shaping our work, and how we handle them will define the future of product management. Walk into any boardroom today, and you hear the same buzzword echoing off the walls. Even at Encora, AI, investors want it, executives demand it, teams scramble to do something with AI. What's my recommendation? Instead of buying into the hype, companies need to focus on ROI, but with a realistic lens. Recent reports show AI's returns aren't always immediate. So the real opportunity is in building a clear ROI plan, identifying where value should come from, setting the right metrics, and tracking progress over time. Because AI without integration is like hiring a genius who never comes to work. And here is where product managers play a critical role in orchestrating all the components to bridge that gap. This goes beyond individual products. Product managers can also shape how AI is adopted across the company, guiding pilots, setting clear guardrails, and aligning teams around a shared vision. In other words, they don't just build features, they help defining how the organization learns, experiments, and scales AI responsibly to drive real, lasting value. And here's one truth we can overlook: none of this works without executive alignment. AI initiatives needs stability, sponsorship, and patience from the top. The technology moves fast, but organizations move slowly sometimes, or actually most of the times. And without clear leadership support, that gap becomes a black hole for progress. C-suite buy-in isn't just about signing off on budgets. It's about understanding the strategic role of AI, committing to data and governance foundations, and creating the psychological safety teams need to experiment. With that top-down clarity, even the best product managers cannot drive meaningful change. And for that to succeed, it's critical that product managers have the C-suite's commitment and sponsorship. Without leadership buy-in, even the best adoption strategies won't scale. Our success does not depend exclusively on us. We will succeed when leaders focus on engineering, integrating, and solving real problems. The future belongs to businesses that treat AI as a growth engine, not as a PR stunt. Narrowing down the conversation to product managers, I think companies need to lean into human skills that AI cannot replicate, such as judgment, empathy, and vision. Some examples: problem framing and storytelling, industry-specific knowledge, and the ability to frame problems clearly are irreplaceable. For example, I've spent the last 10 years of my life working in the hospitality and travel industry. Honestly, how do you replace that kind of experience? System orchestration. The future is not just one model, it's many. Skills in designing workflows where multiple AI systems collaborate will be far more valuable than tweaking a single model. Me, personally, I love the idea of being a fast follower. Understanding your company's nature and using it to define the role you will play in AI adoption, that's key to success. And last, continuous learning and adaptability. AI will evolve, so having the ability to keep learning and pivoting is crucial. After 15 years in the industry, I've seen hype cycles rise and fall, but AI feels different. It's a wave that's here to stay. And just like we've surfed every wave before, we'll surf this one too. Because AI multiplies speed, but humans multiply meaning. And it's meaning, non speed, that customers remember. And it's leadership that multiplies impact. When executives provide clear direction, stability, and long term vision, AI doesn't just change how fast organizations move, it changes how they create value. And at Encora, and at the Strategy and Customer Experience Division, we can help you shaping that journey with you. And with this, we wrap up the main session. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoy it. And I would love to hear your thoughts. So let's open the floor for questions from the audience. Okay, so we've got some questions. Let's start with the first one. In what ways are we reinforcing the importance of human decision-making and governance to prevent over-reliance on automated insights or a false sense of accuracy? So human judgment is still at the heart of every creative process. For us, AI is here to support decision-making, not replace it. In product management, that means building in validation steps, cross-checking insights, keeping people accountable for context and critical thinking. Good governance helps ensure we don't just take model outputs at face value. And in the end, AI help us move faster and think smarter. But I think that human insight still guides the final call. What governance measures are most effective in preventing teams from taking AI outputs at face value? Governance is essential to make sure AI stays a tool for decision support, not decision replacement. We've built in several layers to make that happen. First, we have validation and review checkpoints, where every AI output is cross-checked against real data and business context before we act on it. Then we have explainability and transparency standards. Teams need to understand why a model made a recommendation, not just accept it. We also run fairness reviews, which help us catch and correct any bias in the data or the model's behavior, so we don't end up with skew or unfair outcomes. And finally, human accountability is key. Product managers and domain experts always make the final call. All of this ensures AI help us move faster and with more confidence, but never at the cost of critical thinking. It's really about trust, but always verifying. Okay, third question. Where do we draw the line between AI helping us design the salad bowl and actually making it? AI can help shape ideas. It can suggest new directions or materials, but it shouldn't be the one making the salad bowl. Humans still decide what we are creating, who it's for, and why it matters. In product management, that means using AI to inspire and accelerate our work, but keeping the creative intent and judgment firmly in human hands is key. As I said during the presentation, AI broadens our possibilities, but people give those ideas purpose. Okay, there are no more questions. So thank you very much for joining today's session on product management in the AI era. I hope you gained useful insights on how to adapt and thrive as AI continues to evolve our field. And for more insightful talks, subscribe to Encora Inc. on YouTube and visit encora.com for updates on upcoming sessions. Thank you very much.